Hey lovely people, welcome back once again to another exciting episode of Stitches with Collection. I'm Miss Stitches. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you how to make this beautiful and easy designed handmade beaded bags. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. Let's get started. Materials needed. So you cut your fish line. You make sure it's long enough, you cut it off, and we are using 0.60 mm. You make sure you have the ends of the fish line. You pick 5 beads, fix on any side of the fish line, being it the right side or the left side, fix all 5 beads. And then you cross with the 5th bead. Using the other side of the fish line, you make sure you have the ends of the fish line, so one side will be longer than the other, you pull it out. And then you have your first ring of 5 done. Going on, you pick 5 beads again, fix 2 on the left fish line, fix 2 on the right fish line. And then you cross with the 5th bead using both fish lines. You still make sure you have the ends of the fish line, you pull it out. And then you have your second ring of 6 done. You still fix 2 beads on each fish lines again, and then you cross with the 5th bead using both fish lines. Still make sure you have the ends of the fish line, you pull it out. And then you have your third ring of 6 done. Then you still fix 2 beads on each fish lines again, and then you cross with the 5th bead using both fish lines, you pull it out. And then you have your 4th ring of 6 done. Then with the last part, I'm going to do the same thing for this side. We need 5 rings at the end, so you fix 2 beads on the outer fish line, then you fix 1 bead on the inner fish line, as you can see. Then you cross with the last bead, which is the 4th bead, using both fish lines, you pull it out. So you have it turned like this, you have the fish line like this. So we have 5 rings at the end of both sides. Then on the outer fish line here, you fix 5 beads on the left fish line, then you cross with the 5th bead using the right fish line, you pull it out. So you have it turned completely. You have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads here. Then you fix 3 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 3rd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out. And then you have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. Then you fix 3 beads again on the left fish line, cross with the 3rd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out. And then you have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. Then you fix 3 beads again on the left fish line, cross to the 3rd bead, you pull it out. Then you still have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. Then you fix 3 beads again, cross to the 3rd bead, you pull it out. You have a ring of 6. Then this time with the right fish line, you go through the next 1 bead, this 1 bead here. You have it this way. Then on this fish line, the outer fish line here, and this other one, you fix 2 beads on the outer fish line, and then you fix 1 bead on the inner fish line, and then you cross with the 4th bead using both fish lines, you pull it out. So you have it like this. You still have a ring of 6 here. Then moving on to the next part, on the outer fish line here, you fix 4 beads, and then you cross with the 4th bead using the right fish line, you pull it out. So you have it turned to weave to the next side, and then you have a ring of 5 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads here. Then you fix 3 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 3rd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out. And then you have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads here. Then you fix 3 beads again, cross with the third bead, you pull it out, and then you weave on till you get to the last end with the same method. So when you get to the last end with the right fish line, you go to the last one bead here, as you can see. Then on the outer fish line here, you fix 3 beads, and then you cross with the third bead. Using the other side of the fish line, you pull it out, so you have the fish line turned like this. You have a ring of 5 here, then just as this other end. Then with the right fish line, go to the next one bead here. Then on the outer fish line here, please watch carefully, you fix 4 beads, and then you cross with the 4th bead. Using the other side of the fish line, which is my right fish line, you pull it out, and then you have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. Then you fix 3 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 3rd bead, you pull it out, and then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads, and then you weave on till you get to the last end. So when you get to the last end, you have the fish line out of the next 3 beads. Then on the outer fish line here, you fix 3 beads, and then you cross with the 3rd bead. Using the right fish line, you pull it out, so you have it turned like this. You have a ring of 6 here too. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next one bead here, then you have it this way. So with this side here, I'm just going to reduce it until you get 1 at the last end. You get 1 at the end. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get into it. So on the outer fish line here, then you fix 4 beads again on the left fish line, cross to the 4th bead. Using the right fish line, you pull it out, and then you have it turned. Then you have a ring of 6 here. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. Then you fix 3 beads again on the left fish line, cross with the 3rd bead, you pull it out, and then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. So this is what you have. They are going to weave on from here to this bead here to this last end, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what you should get after you are done, and as I said earlier, we're going to reduce it until we have 1 at the end. So now we have 5. We are going to weave 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to do that off camera, so please follow up. So this is what you should get after you are done. This is exactly what you should have after you are done. As you can see, we have 1 at the end, and this looks like a flower shape. So this is one of it, and I made 6 of it. I made 5 off camera. So in addition to what we did on camera, you have 6 pieces of it, and then 4 has the 4 ends up with 1 at the end. As you can see, those are the 4 that has 1 at the end here, and then this 2, I ended at the 2 part. I didn't add 1 more to it. So we're going to set this 3 aside, and then let's work with these ones here. So this first one, I just held my fish line to this side just to give me a clean record, to have a clear surface of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to join it together. So I'm taking off this first 2 beads here. As you can see, I'm taking them off, and now we have the 3 parts or the 3 holes left. So on the outer fish line here, we are going to join it together. So you pick 1 bead, you fix on that same fish line, and then you go through these 2 beads here. Please watch carefully. You go through these 2 beads here, you pull it out, and then you have the bead in the middle of both sides like this, and then you pick 1 bead again and cross with both sides of the fish lines, you pull it out. Then you have it this way. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads here, you go through this 2 beads here. Then with the left fish line, you go through this 1 bead here. Please watch carefully. So you have it this way, and then you fix 2 beads on the left fish line, and then you cross the 2nd bead using the right fish line. So this is what you should get after you are done. This is what we have. We have a ring of 6 on each side. So I'm going to hold my fish line at the base here, as you can see, and then we're going to join this 3rd part this third part here. So we are going to take off this 2 off, and then we have it up to the 3 sides, as you can see, and then we're going to join it to this part here. So when you trace from this side here, the middle bead you have here, that's where we're going to join it from. So on the outer fish line here, you pick 1 bead, or you fix 1 bead, and then you go through these 2 beads here. Please watch carefully so you won't get confused. The middle bead here, you go through these 2 beads, the unjoined beads here, you pull it out, and then you have the bead in the middle of both sides like this. Then you pick 1 bead again and cross with both sides of the fish lines, you pull it out, then you have a ring of 6 here. Then this time with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads here. With the left fish line, you go through the next 2 beads on the side. So you have it this way. Then you pick 1 bead and cross with both sides of the fish lines, you pull it out, and then you have a ring of 6, and we are done joining the sides together. So this is what you should have for the 3 parts, and then this is the middle bead, and then we just join them together. So when you count it, you still get the one at the end, just like this ones. So now I'm moving on to this one. So I'm going to fix them on this side here. As you can see, I've placed them. This is how I'm going to fix them on this side. So it's going to be on this first row. When you place them, these lines here, that's where I'm going to fix it. Okay, so I have my fish lines at the end, or exactly where it should be. So if you don't want stress, you can just pass all the fish lines through, then you use new ones to join them up. That is, if you don't want to get confused. Okay, so I hope what I'm explaining, you understand me very well. I'm just going to attach them to this side. So the first row of each side here, that's where I'm going to attach them, and I have my fish line on those beads here. So this is what we are going to do, and like I said, you can just pass this fish line through, the old one through, then you just use a new one to join, not to get confused. So with this first part here, I'm going to pass my fish line through to come out from this end. As you can see, this is where I have my fish line. So with this first line, I'm going to join it. It's like sewing. Okay, so I'm going to attach, I'm just going to sew them together. This one, I'm not going to use any bead, just the fish line that you want to use. And I'm leaving this 1 and 2 bead. That's why we have the fish line out of the 2nd and 3rd bead. So we are leaving this first 2. Okay, I'm leaving the number 1 and number 2 at the end. Then we're starting from the 3rd line. So you go through from the same part, you go through this bead here, you go through these 2 beads on the 3rd row, you go through these 2 beads. Please watch carefully. You pull it out, and then you have it this way. Then with that same fish line, you now jump to the other side, to this part, the cover or the one on top, and then you go through the next bead to the 2 beads on the 4th row. Okay, so you see it's stacking together, or it's sticking together. Then you now come to the down part, and then you go through, or you now come to the 5th row, then you go through the 2 beads here. So you go through this 2 beads too at the down side, you pull it out, and then you come back to the top to be these 2 beads on top too. You pull it out, then you have it like this. As you can see, we have it tagged or stick together. This is what you should get. And then we are going to pass the fish line through. So after you're done, you can pass the fish line through for this part, and then you use the other fish line to join the back side here. So you can leave the 5th or the 5th ring. Okay, you weave to the 5th ring, then you leave it, and then you're going to attach this one to here. This one is going to go here, but let's do this side here, and I'll be back with it. So this is the outcome of doing the other side, or sewing the other side, or joining it together. This is how it looks. This is what you should have. So I'm going to do same for this other side here, this side here, and then with this side too, and then this other side here. So with the same method, you are just sewing it or joining them together. Then you leave this 2. So the 2 that are left, that is what we have left here, or that's what we have out here. So please watch closely. This is what we have. It's so neat, and I'm going to do them off camera with the same method. So this is what you should have after you're done. As you can see, I'm lifting all the sides for you to see how nicely they are joined or stick together. So this is the part I said you have to leave out. This is what we have. So we'll come back to it later and see what we're going to do about it. But we are going to attach our handle now, or fix our handle now. So I used the bead to make this handle off camera. It's the same method. You just fix 6 beads first, then you cross with the seed bead, and then you fix 2 beads on each fish line, then you cross with the 5th bead. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to, it's 20 in all. I did 20 rings, so we are going to attach it here. You can attach it on any side at all. So let's fix it on this side. So I'm using the same fish line because it's very long enough for me to use it. So we are going to attach it on the side here. So I have my fish line at the end, and it's going to be on the same side here, the first 2 rows, which is the 5 rings and then the 6th ring. So with any side of the fish line at all, you go through this 2 beads at the down pass, or at the mat of the bag itself. You go through those 2 beads, as you can see I'm doing. You pull it out, then you now go through these 2 beads on the handle side too. You pull it out, then you have it like this. Then with the same fish line, you go through these 2 beads here on the mat side. So we have to lock it up very well. That's why we are doing this. And then you now go through these 2 beads on the handle side here. You pull it out, and then lastly you go through this 1 bead at the base, the same side you started from. You go through this 1 bead, you have it this way, and then we are going to use the same method for this side here. So please, let's follow up for this side. So you pull it out. So both fish lines should come out on the same bead, as you can see, and this is what we have. So please watch closely. As you can see, we have it sewn or attached to the mat, and they are going to pass the fish lines all through to come out from this bead here. It's very long enough for me, so I can pass it through to come out from here. And this is what we have. But if your fish line is not long, don't worry, you can pass it through and then use a new fish line to start up this side here. So we are going to attach this one on this side here with the same method we used for this other side, and I'm going to do that off camera with the same method. So this is what you should have after you are done. We have it nicely attached to the mat. This looks beautiful already. So we are not done yet. Let's join this side like I said. So with the new fish line, this one is easy. You are just trying to hold them together. So you go through this both side first. You make sure you have the fish line out of the bead, then you go through from this other end again. You pull it out and make sure it's very tight. Yeah, this is what you should have. And then you can pass the fish line through very well to come out from this end. Then you join these 2 sides, as you can see we have here. So this is exactly what you should have. After you are done, you should have them standing. And I left this fish line at the end here because we are going to use it. So we're just going to pass it through to come out from this side, as you can see, like this. And then you fix 6 beads. You can fix 5, 6 or 7, but I'm using 6 beads on that fish line, then you bring it out of the same hole again to come out from this down part here. So this is exactly what we want to cover that side. So this is what we have. They are going to pass the fish line shoot to kill this part of the work, and this is how beautiful it looks after you are done. So this looks nice, and now we are going to weave around the bag. So with a new fish line, we are starting from this side here. So with this 5th bead, you should use the side as a mark. We are starting from this straight side here. This is where we are weaving to. So you go through the first bead at the corner here, you pull the fish line out, you have it like this. Then on the left fish line, the outer fish line here, you fix 3 beads, and then you cross with the 3rd bead using the other side of the fish line. You make sure you have the ends, so one side will be longer than the other. You pull it out, and then you have a first ring of 4, and then with the right fish line you go through the next 1 bead here. Please watch carefully because of the pattern of the bag. Then you fix 2 beads on the left fish line, cross with the 2nd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out. And then with the right fish line you go through the next 1 bead here. Then you fix 2 beads again on the left fish line, cross with the 2nd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out, and then you weave on with the same method to get to the end of this part. So when you are almost at the end of this part, you still have to go through this 1 bead here, this bead here. Then you fix 2 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out. So this ends the first part, and then we are moving on to this next joint side here. So you are not going through the 5th bead, you now start from this side and then weave to this down part here. So this part, this bead here, you go through this bead here. Please watch carefully. You have it like this, then you fix 2 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out, and then with the right fish line you go through the next 1 bead. Then you fix 2 beads again on the left fish line, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out, and then you weave on with the same method to get to the end of this part too. So before you get to the end of this part too, you go through the last bead here. We have 1 more bead here, so you have it like this. Then you fix 2 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out, and now we are going to the next step. So you still have to go through this bead, you go through this top bead to start this row. Please watch carefully. So you go through this bead here, then you fix 2 beads again, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out, then you go through this 1 bead here, then you fix 2 beads on the left fish line, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out, then you go through the next 1 bead here, you fix 2 beads again, cross to the 2nd bead, you pull it out, then you go through the next 1 bead here. So as you can see, with the same method I'm going to weave on for this remaining part here. So you come to this side this way, then to this other side. Please follow the pattern so you won't make any mistake, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what you should get after you are done for this one side or this one round. You are going to weave 1 more time to get 2 steps for this side, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what you should have after the 2nd round. This is how beautiful it looks already. This is what we have here, and this is one side of it. So I made the same thing off camera, the same shape, the same sides, but with this side here I have 1 on this side, and then I have 2 on this side I made off camera. So you can do it 2-2 depending on the size that you want. I'm going to join it together to form the full body of the bag. So I'm using the same fish line because it's long enough for me to weave on with it. So on the outer fish line here, you fix one bead. Then with that same fish line where you fix the bead, you go through the first bead on this other side of the bag, you pull it out, then you have the bead in the middle of both sides like this. Then you pick one bead again and cross with both sides of the fish lines, you pull it out. And then with the right fish line, you go through the next one bead. With the left fish line, you go through the next one bead. Then you pick one bead again and cross with both sides of the fish lines, you pull it out. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next one bead. With the left fish line, you go through the next one bead. Then you pick one bead again, cross with both sides of the fish lines, you pull it out. With the right fish line, you go through the next one bead. With the left fish line, you go through the next one bead, and then you weave on with the same method throughout. So as you can see, we have the side joining up. We are going to weave on all the way from here to this end here, to this top side here, and I'm going to do that off camera with the same method. So this is what you should get after you are done. This is how beautiful it looks after joining the sides together. This is the inner side of it. This is what we have. So you can use the bag like this if you want, but we are not done yet. So you can try and fix a magnetic lock if you want, or you just leave it this way, and this is beautiful. So we are not done yet. Like I said earlier, I'm going to add a little touch to the bag. I'm going to do a little spice. I cover the holes of the bag, and I'll be right back after I'm done. So voila, this is how charming the bag looks now after covering the holes or the spaces between the bag. And this is so perfect that you can use without putting in a drawstring bag or a lining. This is awesome. Like, this came out very nice. I didn't expect to get it like this. And this is all we are doing for this flower designed handmade beaded bag. Feel free to increase the size if you want it big. You can make this in any color of your choice. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more of my tutorials. Make sure to comment and share as well. Stay safe. See you in my next video. Have a nice day and bye.